According to a new report from Politico, Republican candidates across the country are starting to panic a bit because they are worried that Donald Trump is going to drag down their candidacies. But it's not for the reason that you would think. Here's what's going on. Yes, 5 polls out of the last 8 days, 5 different polls have shown that Kamala Harris is now beating Donald Trump nationwide. And of course, she is overtaking him in certain swing states. She's closing the gaps in other swing states. Democrats have all the momentum right now, and Donald Trump and his failing campaign with J.D. Vance are losing ground, which of course would hurt all of the down-ballot Republicans on the ticket with Donald Trump. But that's not why they're freaking out. According to this Politico report, the main reason these people are freaking out about Donald Trump is because they're trying to emulate his style, and it simply is not working for them. In fact, it's having the opposite effect. When these other candidates who are not Donald Trump try to go out there and act like Donald Trump and say the same stupid, crazy things without ever actually pushing any real policy, their voters reject them. While at the same time, Trump can do the exact same thing in the exact same speech, and those same voters gravitate to him. The difference, of course, is the personality. Here is what Politico wrote. Many of Trump's ideas are largely unpopular with voters. Without his charisma, his ideological allies are left with policy positions like abortion bans that most Americans don't really like. It's Trump's personality that keeps him happily ensconced at the head of the party. The result is that candidates like J.D. Vance, up and down state ballots, try to build on Trump's political legacy without being able to capture his personal one. Because as we all know, this cult of Trump is a cult of personality. If it were any other human being on this planet going up on those rally stages as the nominee, saying the things that Trump says, there'd be nobody showing up at those rallies. It's the way Trump says the crazy things, right? It's the conviction that he has when he is so blatantly wrong. It's the manipulation. It's the attacks he can launch. Because Trump can say something and make fun of somebody else, and his supporters cheer wildly. J.D. Vance goes up there and he tries to do the same thing, and nobody in the audience even lets out a chuckle. And it's not just Vance. It is all of these Republicans down the ballot. Because believe it or not, there are more voters than you think that are going to go to the polls in November and vote for Donald Trump for president, and that could be the only Republican that they vote for. And part of that, again, is because these other Republicans are trying to do the same thing, but it's just not landing, right? You've got to have policy. And when they do talk about policy, the voters are like, well, I actually hate that policy. I'm going to go with the other people. But they don't mind that Trump doesn't talk about policy because whatever he says it with this weird charisma. He says it with this, just general sense of I'm always right, even when he is so very wrong. And for some reason, the voters like that from him. But apparently, they don't like it when it comes from anybody else, and it's pushing people away from all of those down-ballot Republicans. America's Lawyer has launched its own YouTube channel. Now, this channel, of course, is still in its early phases of development, but you can help grow it by subscribing. Just go to youtube.com/TheAmericasLawyer, and you'll get all of the great content from Mike Papantonio and myself that we produce every single week.